The Great Wall of China is not simply a wall. It is a timeline carved into earth and stone. Stretching more than 21,000 kilometers across northern China, it moves over mountains, across deserts, through valleys and plains, following the natural spine of the land as if geography itself decided to rise in defense. For centuries, it has stood as one of the most powerful symbols of human ambition, resilience, and control. But to understand the Great Wall, we must first understand the world that created it. More than 2,000 years ago, China was not a single nation but a patchwork of competing kingdoms during a period known as the Warring States era. Borders were unstable. Armies clashed frequently. And beyond the northern frontier, nomadic tribes moved swiftly across the open steppe, skilled in mounted warfare and rapid raids. These incursions threatened farmland, villages, and trade routes. Defense became not just strategy, but survival. Individual states began constructing earthen fortifications to protect their territories. These early walls were not unified, they were regional responses to immediate danger. Then, in 221 BCE, a powerful ruler changed history. Qin Shi Huang unified the warring states under one empire, establishing the Qin dynasty and declaring himself the first emperor of China. With unification came a new vision, securing the northern boundary as one continuous defensive system. Rather than starting from nothing, Qin Shi Huang ordered the connection and expansion of existing walls. Hundreds of thousands of laborers were mobilized, soldiers, peasants, prisoners, forced into harsh conditions. Construction sites were remote and unforgiving. Supplies were limited. Weather was extreme, ranging from freezing winters to scorching summers. The early Great Wall was built primarily from tamped earth, compacted soil layered and pressed between wooden frames. Though less visually dramatic than later stone sections, these walls were massive undertakings requiring extraordinary human effort. The human cost was immense. Workers endured exhaustion, malnutrition, and exposure. Many died during construction. Legends claim that their bodies were buried within the wall itself, though historians debate the scale of this practice. Regardless of myth, the wall's foundation is inseparable from sacrifice. It represents not only engineering, but endurance. After the Qin dynasty fell, subsequent dynasties continued to modify and expand the wall. The Han dynasty strengthened northern defenses to protect the Silk Road, a vast network of trade routes connecting China to Central Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. The wall's purpose evolved. It was no longer only about stopping raids, it was about protecting commerce, regulating trade, and asserting imperial authority over frontier regions. Over centuries, sections were abandoned, rebuilt, or redesigned depending on political priorities and military threats. Some rulers invested heavily in fortification. Others neglected it in favor of diplomacy or expansion. The wall's story is not linear. It is layered, reflecting changing strategies across time. The version most recognizable today emerged during the Ming dynasty between the 14th and 17th centuries. After the fall of the Yuan dynasty, which had been established by Mongol rulers, the Ming emperors prioritized securing the northern frontier against renewed Mongol power. This period saw the most extensive reconstruction of the wall. Unlike earlier earthen designs, Ming engineers used bricks, cut stone, and lime mortar, creating the dramatic battlements and towers that define its iconic image. Watchtowers were placed at strategic intervals, serving as observation posts, storage facilities, and defensive strongholds. Beacon towers formed an advanced communication system. When enemy movement was detected, soldiers lit smoke signals during the day and fire signals at night. These signals relayed messages across hundreds of kilometers within hours, a remarkable achievement in pre-modern military coordination. The wall functioned not only as a barrier, but as a network. Garrisons housed troops year-round. Fortified passes regulated trade and travel. Major gateways such as mountain passes became both military checkpoints and commercial hubs. The wall was not simply built to isolate, it was designed to manage interaction. It controlled movement, collected taxes, and reinforced the authority of the state. Yet history reveals an important truth: the wall was never completely impenetrable. There were times when invading forces breached it. Sometimes they found weakly defended sections. Sometimes corruption opened gates from within. In 1644, near the end of the Ming dynasty, a general allowed Manchu forces to pass through the Shanhai Pass, leading to the rise of the Qing dynasty. The wall could slow invasion. It could deter raids. But it could not eliminate political instability. This duality gives the Great Wall deeper meaning. It symbolizes both strength and vulnerability. It represents humanity's attempt to create permanence in a world of uncertainty. Architecturally, the wall adapts to its environment. In desert regions, it appears low and compact, constructed from rammed earth mixed with reeds and gravel. In mountainous areas, it climbs steep ridges with dramatic stone stairways. Some sections are narrow, allowing only single-file passage. Others are wide enough for several horses to ride side by side. The wall's design reflects local materials and terrain. It is not a uniform structure but a collection of regional solutions connected into one monumental system. Culturally, the wall carries enormous symbolic weight. It has come to represent national unity and identity. For centuries, poets and scholars referenced it as a boundary between civilization and wilderness. European explorers who encountered it described it with awe, astonished by its scale. One persistent myth claims it is visible from space with the naked eye. Astronauts have clarified that this is not true without assistance, yet the myth continues, reinforcing the idea that the wall is larger than life. In 1987, the Great Wall was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, formally recognizing its global cultural importance. Today, millions of visitors walk along restored sections each year. Popular areas near Beijing, such as Badaling and Muxianyu, have been carefully maintained for tourism. However, many remote stretches remain vulnerable to erosion and neglect. Wind, rain, and time gradually wear down the ancient bricks. Some rural communities once dismantled portions for building materials, unaware of their historical value. Preservation efforts now aim to balance tourism with protection. But beyond preservation lies reflection. What does the Great Wall mean in the modern world? Some interpret it as a symbol of isolation, an empire turning inward. Others see it as a statement of sovereignty, a clear definition of borders in an era of constant threat. Historically, China was never completely sealed off. Trade flourished along the Silk Road. Cultural exchange shaped art, religion, and technology. The wall did not eliminate interaction, it regulated it. Perhaps the greatest lesson of the wall is its persistence. Dynasties that built it have vanished. Political systems have changed. Technology has advanced beyond anything its original architects could imagine. Yet the wall remains. In some areas, it stands tall and restored. In others, it crumbles quietly back into the earth. It reminds us that even the most ambitious human creations are subject to time. Walking along a quiet section at sunrise, when mist settles between watchtowers and mountains stretch into the horizon, the wall feels less like a defensive structure and more like a meditation on history. Each brick was placed with intention. Each tower once held soldiers scanning the horizon for movement. Each step carries echoes of footsteps from centuries past. The Great Wall of China is often described as the longest man-made structure on Earth. But its true scale is measured not only in kilometers. It is measured in generations of labor, in shifting political strategies, in cultural symbolism. It represents fear transformed into architecture, vulnerability transformed into structure, uncertainty transformed into stone. Ultimately, the wall stands as a monument to human will. It shows what societies are capable of when driven by necessity and vision. It also serves as a reminder that no barrier can solve every problem, and no structure is immune to change. Across deserts and mountains, through storms and centuries, the Great Wall continues to trace its path across northern China. Not merely as a relic of defense, but as a testament to endurance. A line written across history. A boundary shaped by ambition. And above all, a monument that reminds us that humanity's greatest constructions are reflections of both our strength and our fears.